Hello, everyone. Good morning, some people good evening, some people good afternoon. So today our topic is the secret prophecy from Buddha about the golden age. That means Buddha himself say the golden age will be possible, known as the second golden age or new golden age. So don't mistake. In the past, we have called golden ages. Some nations, some periods of time, they consider as golden age. Not that one. Not that one. And some religions believe in the past, we are human beings much more superior. That time called golden age, we're not talking about that either. We talking about our future. So we're talking about the great, the brightest future for us. That's we're going to talk about. Also, I would like to tell you, today we not talk about something extremely religious point of view, but we talking about something prophesies. It will really possible. We have incredible transition, golden age. More logically, more scientifically, something acceptable and believable. Also, tonight we not talk about how we talk is we're not going to talk about something very scholarly way. You know that scholars, they're in particular way of quoting things precisely. We not necessarily talk that way today. Why? Because firstly, we are short time, so we have more important things to talk. Secondly, the audience is not scholars, it's variety, diversity. So therefore, we're going to talk about something optimistic, practical, and believable. Have references with logic and with science and with spiritual. Okay. That means we talking about this prophecy is based on logic, based on the concept of karma. When we talk in this, I think the most important to understand that karma, the idea of karma, if you understand properly the concept of karma, then is not just something Buddhist business. It's not something Hindu and Buddhist business. It's something to do with the natural law. The natural law. And we have to understand that natural law is nobody can change. If somebody can change, that means either God or Buddha or whoever is above over the natural law. If that case, we probably have to accept that Buddha or that God is not full of love, is not full of unconditional love and compassion. Why? Because we have so much suffering, sentient beings experiencing so much suffering. If is somebody above of the natural law, then why they let so much suffering to people if they are unconditional, with unconditional love and compassion? So we have that problem. So therefore it's not logical. But when we understand the karma means a natural law, but that natural law is not randomly come. Instead, we creating ourselves. So therefore, the universal, the law, natural law, entirety is not up to individual's hand. But if we do together, then we can change the world what way of we love to. So we can have this conclusion of that. So if you understand based on this, then it doesn't matter what religion you follow. You not follow any religion, but you consider you are really substantial spiritual person. You have substantial path to follow. Or you can say discover the substantial path. Or you are non-believist. Doesn't matter. As long as you believe happiness and suffering is something different, in everybody dissolves, be happy and enjoy, and we can defeat our fear and worry, anxiety, depression, if we dissolve to defeat of them and enjoy. If you believe this, then it makes sense. The concept of karma as a natural law. And natural law is we contributing, every individual. And the Buddha's prophecies is according to this. Okay? Not only just Buddhist would believe, but think about any religion, any spiritual. Everybody seeking us salvation and security and protection. Even non-spiritual people, they also seek us salvation and protection and happiness. So basically, we all just same. We just have same belief, the fundamental. Just small branches people make, and that one you can agree each other. That's all we're doing. So in that case, this one is not something about you have to believe blindly, but instead you can understand, and we all can understand together. Okay? So we can transform our world much better position. That is called golden age. That is Buddha prophesied. So let's say you may think this, oh, Gurupama Sangbawa, he prophesies everything getting worse and worse. Somebody else prophesies getting worse and worse. Somebody prophesies the world is end in 2012. And such many things. And nowadays I hear even the Buddhist, many of them, they believe in 2030 is something incredible bad year. So all of them, I'm not saying they are 100% wrong, but there is differences, optimistic or pessimistic. Optimistic mind produce the positive energy, positive karma, positive merit, virtuous merits. And these contribute in our world. Pessimistic mind, the opposite. producing negativities. These go to in our in our universe is contribute negatively. So you can think those who said its world going to become worse and worse. You don't have to think they entirely lied or mistake. There is chance to get worse, and there is much more chance to get better. Why? Because everything is everybody's hand, not one person's hand, but everybody's hand. Therefore, so that means is our choice. We make get worse the world, or we make better the world. Is our choice. The world never created without action, without karma. We human beings never stop action, never stop activities. Your body activity, speech activity is a little bit activity. Compare your mind activity. So the majority of the world, the core of the world, made from our mental activities. Always has been that, always will be like that. So that means is our choice. We want to make world, make worse or make better. Isn't that logical? Isn't that is a fact? If you cannot comprehend the whole world, think about just your home and family. If everybody's mind as a positive and optimistic and compassionate and thoughtful, what becomes your home? What becomes your family? And if the opposite, what becomes? Isn't obvious. So the world just the same, this globe and this humanity is the same, is up to us. Then you may thinking, oh yes, but we are few people even try to do this. There's too many bad people. So we cannot control. That is depend our courage, our optimism, our braveness, our compassion, basically. So that's why I want to say, usually people think compassion is something you said for other people's suffering. But actually, real compassion is not about the sadness. It's about you can care other people's well-being. And you have courage to care and change the other's suffering. That is compassion. That means that the compassion is something to do with the courageous nature, warrior nature. It's not about this feeling sadness. Therefore, if we are few people, courage, optimism, be optimist, we can change the world. Why? We can influence more people. I encouraged many people already. I'm nobody a few years ago. Nobody know me. Because I come from incredible, remote Tibetan nomadic yak herder. So nobody knows me. Because I am something never been even primary school, never been school even one day, no educated, so cannot speak any other language. I don't even know what does the world look like. No idea, nobody taught. So I came this stage, I can influence tens of thousands at least. So you all, I believe, much better than me. Many of you, I believe, much better than me. So you will encourage many people. And this, each of you can do the same and even better. So this world, we can change very quickly. Why not? Even think of this, isn't it nice? Rather than you just depress and you are stuck at something, similar issues, with similar issues. Rather, you can think, we can change the world into the golden age. What is the problem if when you think this and believe this? There is no problem. There is no disadvantage, only advantage. Please. So if you do that, that means we are in line with Buddha's prophecies. We're going to have a perfect world as called second golden age. And if we have this courage, that means we are slowly become a family of the Shambhala. Okay? So that means I have to explain what is Shambhala. Shambhala is originated from in this earth, used to be like very gross level of physical realm, just like us. But they introduced Kalachakra Tantra and they practice this. So they become transcended as a golden age, and then even more transcend, and then become a pure land, pure realm. which means we cannot look at with our naked eyes. We can't touch, is invisible, a different dimension on this earth. It's still on this earth, but you cannot just simply touch or look at or smell it. Only you can do, you have to make cause and conditions to connect with. This is Shambhala. And this Shambhala nature is what I talking now. Everybody is had this optimistic mind. You can say bodhicitta, or you can say altruistic mind, or you can say the optimistic. That is the core important. And with this, transcended, and we can do the same thing. Why? Why? We have even more chance. Do you know why? Because Shambhala have to fund Kalachakra Tantra and then have to establish. So took 7 generations to establish completely. But we have Kalachakra already established over 1,000 years. We've been bit slow, something we are ashamed about. But now is the time to follow the footsteps of the Shambhala. Why? I'll tell you many reasons. Firstly, we have Kalachakra Tantra. It has been long time in Tibet. I bring this Kalachakra is from Jonang tradition. So the Jonangba is already established emanation of the second Kalki of Pantarika's emanation, Tolpopa Sher Johnson. He is believed, everybody believed he is an emanation of Pantarika, Shambhala Karki kin. That is not just Jonangpa's belief, that is all Tibetan traditions believed. And he prophesies how his dharma will flourish. Of course, there's some obstacles and lack of merit. Some Tibet regions, they destroy Jonang and converse. They did that, but Tolpopa, he has already prophesied his dharma flourish gone too far away into the East Tibet. And today is the reality. Jonah was there. So I brought this Kalachakra into the major languages we establish in. Why? Because if we want a golden age, we want footsteps of the Shambhala, and we want to practice Shambhala's Dharma. Kalachakra Dharma already transcend Shambhala, so we want to practice that. Why? Because this is a feat in prophecies of the Buddha and the first Dharma Kin Suchanta's conversation text. Okay, I'm not going to too much details of these prophecies, but I tell you why we call secret prophecies. Because these prophecies, if you take literally, and then some people can misunderstand or can take like wrong way. For instance, these prophecies say, one day in the future, such and such time, barbarians destroy the human virtues and make it a bad position to our world. At that time, the Shambhala magic army come and destroy the barbarians and then transform the golden age, so everybody health change or unhealthy ones healthy, or our crops grow without planning, so we don't have to fight for any wealth at all, and everybody become a compassionate and have wisdom, so they don't do any silly things anymore, so on, so forth, said it. But these, some people can misinterpret it, possible. Why? Because our samsaric world history, they use religious excuses and make wars and did many bad things. So our human typical mind can think that. But why they said that? When Buddha is talking, he always think a different audience. So at that time, ancient time, the world is not together. Everybody stuck in a small villages, and then they invading each other. Especially that time, Muslims invasion in India. That time, you have to say something understandable for them. That time probably, if you say golden age, the whole world, with your compassion and love with enemy, even enemies you love and compassion, some people think, oh, I don't want that. I want to destroy the enemy. So, Buddha himself say, you never believe my word simply. You always have to have incredible investigation and analyze how fit logically. So the same thing. But not only Buddha said that if you understand the whole prophecy, if you understand the text very well, then it's obvious. Not just you kill the enemies and conquer other country. Buddhists want to conquer other religious people. Muslims want to conquer somebody else. It's not like that. It's obvious. You can see it. If you know the details of the prophecies, then is see very easily or everything about compassion, unconditional compassion to save the world, to, to transcend the world with unconditional love and compassion, this warrior nature of the compassion. So that's why it's so easy, obvious, understandable. But ancient texts not very easy to understand. One. Second, our judgmental, our human mind can interpret it very bad way as what we did each other. So then it's dangerous. So that's why it's better to secret, not showing everybody all the time, unless you have confidence how to explain. If you know the whole picture, if you know the whole prophecies, the prophecy is very long. If you understand all of them, then it's no problem. It's so obvious. It's with full of love and compassion and wisdom. But just limited judgmental people, if you use a few words, you see few sentences, then you can interpret it wrong way. Okay? So therefore, tonight is more explain is that rather than we read the whole prophecies. Okay? So the prophecies always there, people can learn themselves, they interpret themselves. The scholars they have way of explaining and interpret it. Other people have different ways. But it's so obvious. Incredible prophecies. Why? Because we have such negative, how to say, pessimistic way of many prophecies, but the Kalachakra has this optimistic altruism fitting this prophecies. So that means now we have much more chance transform our world than ancient time. Why? Because firstly, we can refer to the Buddha, his prophecies. Secondly, Shambhala's mission in that in that text saying, the prophecies, the Shambhala's mission is to transform our world, they're helping transform our world. And then also, if you something's limited interpretation, then okay, oh, this prophesies as, oh, after like 300-400 years later. Oh, that time I already died, so I couldn't really care less. That is short vision, selfish, limited mind thinking. So don't think that. Why? Because there is nothing that can fixed. Everything is changeable. Everything is impermanent. It's so obvious. So that's why the calculation of when this golden age come is one option, one possibility, not the entirety of the possibility, okay? So therefore, we don't want 300-400 years wait, right? We want the perfect world tomorrow. Of course, we prefer tomorrow, but at least we want change by few decades. Let's say we aiming for a few decades maximum, okay? So we be, optimistic, and we learn these Buddhas, the altruistic mind can transform the whole world. We learn together. We do together because we all the fundamentally same, and we have same desire, and we have same fear, and we have same aversion. We don't want suffering. We have aversion of suffering. So therefore, if we do together, we definitely can do it. Think about, some people think, or usually, oh no, that's very hard to change the world. No, not always change the world exactly your selfish way of mind wanted individually. That's maybe hard. But if you think the positive way, and if we communicate very well each other and influence each other very well, then it's going to be very fast. Just like a few hundred years, how much fast changed the world. The science, how changed the world fast. How big change. The hippie movement, how fast change. Think about the modern culture and the past culture. Everything changes so fast. Even think of the COVID-19, only 2 years, how much changed. I'm not saying all of them perfect changes, but we can do the perfect change together. We don't have to sacrifice. We really, really want once. We don't have to sacrifice anything. We just have understand how the best way of live, how best way of think, how best way of work together, and how imagine the result will be. You know, these prophecies, these positive, incredible prophecies, we take as our encourage, our backbone. And then this philosophy, what I'm talking about, you can learn more. I have written many books. So this one, as our core practice. And Kalachakra Tantra is our pursues transmission, the greatest transmission. Why? Because it's known as king of Tantra, but not only that, but come from directly from Shambhala, unbroken lineage. Not only that, but it is so scientific and quantum physics is like Kalachakra Tantra. So is indefeatable in modern knowledge. Not modern knowledge cannot defeat indefeatable, and is weaved together and even more than science. Already, of course, because Buddha taught 10th level of bodhisattvas in the Shambhala. So how fast they transcended. Think of that. So therefore, we have this courage. So what we have to do is, we just need learn Shambhala. I have written book published by Shambhala publication. So this is English. And then if it's Chinese, if you want somebody, they have published too. Then you clearly understand what is Shambhala really is, and what is Shambhala's mission, and what we can do together. And then you need to connect with Kalachakra Tantra. Why? Because Kalachakra Tantra is a special dharma who transcended a Shambhala. So we are so fortunate we have the opportunity. So therefore, the starting point, you can read Shambhala, Kalachakra books or so on and so forth, but the most important, you receive Kalachakra empowerment in Kalachakra initiation. Why? Because you initiated in Kalachakra Tantra means you are become a part of the Shambhala. You are become a family of the Shambhala. Therefore, it's so important. So that's why it's known as everybody saying things on the air. If you receive 7 times Kalachakra empowerment, you will be Shambhala guarantee. That's not I saying, okay? But it's used, people say. I don't know where it come from. Some must be been told somebody or whatever. Therefore, receiving Shambhala empowerment is not about you promise something, you sign something, so you have to keep up this. If not, then you have punishment or you have disadvantage. It's not about that. Please, this is a big people misunderstanding. Big misunderstanding is, oh, I go in initiation means I have to promise something. If I promise something, then I cannot follow, keep up, and then I have bad consequences, bad luck, go to hell, whatever. This is such unfortunate misunderstanding. You think about empowerment, what it means, empowers you. So not everybody can receive the same level. But let's say if somewhere a golden island, if there's 100 people arrived, you have 1 minute collect gold. Sure, not everybody got the same amount, but everyone definitely got something. The same thing, you are John and Kalachakra initiation, is not everybody get the same thing, but is definitely everybody can get something. And if you can't maintain this, that's why we need to receive again and again. If you maintain 100%, no problem. You don't need to receive even. Receive again. But that's why I say you need to receive again, again. Even you have 0 maintain, you 7 times receive, that is guarantee in Shambhala. That not talking about the whole world change, okay? That talking about your individual person when you are passed away, reborn Shambhala. That's talking about. Don't mix it up. But tonight, our topic is not focus the individual liberation. If you interest individual liberation a very special way, then next time we talk that how is it possible become a modern Mahasiddha. That one you will learn. But today we talk about the golden age. How is it possible we are together? How we possible transcend this world together? Our world become perfect rather than like now. Okay, so that's what we're talking about today. So I talk too much. I think I'll leave here. If you have any important questions related with these questions, we can talk at a short time.
Okay, if you have any questions specifically on this topic, we have a very short time for Q&A. Our first question, Rinpoche, is I have read that when the time of the second golden age arrives, the Kalki kings, which is an emanation of Guru Padmasambhava, will return with his Shambhala soldiers. Is this true? How is Guru Padmasambhava related to Kalachakra?
Okay. The funny thing is Kalachakra flourished into Tibet from India, 11th century, and received come from many lineages and many missions. I believe everybody received all traditions, but who maintained completion is what I said before. Torpopa, he prophesied his tradition, so then only Chonapa maintained completely today. But the others always they have great trust, respect, and aspiration or Kalachakra. Therefore, doesn't matter you are Gelugpa Lama or you are Nyingma Lama, whoever say, oh, when I die, I wish my aspiration become the soldier of the Shambhala Karkis and help to the golden age. Okay? So therefore, not only just Pama Sangbawa, but or Nyingma Lamas, even like the Kambojime Penso, or many of them, they say this. They will become their soldiers. Soldiers. That's why sometimes I little bit, how to say? Yeah, ancient people talk ancient way, and this traditional Tibetan means before this internet happened everywhere. Tibetans is isolated from the world. They talk certain languages, certain way, a more ancient way. So, but everybody has that aspiration. Okay?
Rinpoche, can you please record the Kalachakra empowerment so that we can just replay it 7 times in a row to receive it 7 times? Or must we receive it live only?
Okay. In the past, you receive empowerment. They offered kilos of gold and went hardship from Tibet and freezing place to Bolin, India, and many people die on the way. So received that way. So they have great result, great realization. Okay. And in the ancient time, who has great realization, great accomplishment, they always make the whole life is dedicated on that. So therefore, they made huge effort. Even Marpa, these incredible high lamas, they walk to India many times. So therefore, they have incredible receipt. So modern time, you have to promote, unfortunately. And then people, oh, maybe I choose to receive empowerment, or maybe I do my normal samsara job, or I visit some samsaric friends, or samsaric holiday, or whatever. It becomes it's not your number one priority. Therefore, less realization. So therefore, I never wanted to do anything online ever. I want to do personally, physically, who really appreciate. But the pandemic come, many reasons we have to do once online. And then many people feedback, they're saying, they get incredible benefit. Okay, in that case, if the pandemic never end, we must do this. That's what we're doing. But if we said that record and play 7 times, I give 7 times, that's probably, again, maybe too easy. So probably not the same because of too easy.
Just so you know, the empowerment will not be recorded. It will be live streamed only to the people who are registered inside of Zoom. So we don't give out the links far in advance, and you can only watch it once you've registered, and there is no recording left of it and no recording allowed. So if you do want to receive it, you do need to come in real time. So Rinpoche, back to Padmasambhava. He spoke of the Dharma disappearing from the earth for a very long time. And Kalachakra seems to be more optimistic. You have mentioned this already, but can you say more about the differences in these prophecies of the degeneration that Padmasambhava predicted versus the golden age that Kalachakra predicts?
Okay. I think is predicting, like getting worse and worse is not is about wrong. It is if you think, if we think of nature of everything, it's not always same, always change. And we have good days and bad days. We have good years and bad years. We have good month, bad month. Everything is change individually, and also there's some group karmas. We have bad years, bad months, whatever, relatives or whatever. You have to think of this. So then if Padmasambhava, he think whatever the time link, whatever, and then he focus that and say, oh, get worse, depend where he referring to, and depend how we interpret it. So that's maybe not, it's just entirely mistake or anything, is possible, but it is not possible all the way is getting worse. That seems not possible. For instance, we have good days and bad days, but we always change, like if you say, let's say 30 years, your day is getting worse and worse, and 30 years? No, the answer is no, never. The same thing year and everything, it's not like that. So that's why the Kalachakra also they're talking about the circles of degeneration, but they also, it seems like talking about more a big picture. So for instance, therefore, for us is we have chance. We make the best choice. Why? Because we become is a global. This internet, everything. So we are become very easily access work together. Very easily influence other people if we do right away is very fast. We know that. In ancient time, that's not possible. So that's why we have opportunity. We have an incredible chance to change a great way.
Okay, so Rinpoche, are there any representatives of any of Shambhala on the earth right now?
Any references?
Representatives, that would be like, are there any Shambhala warriors or Shambhala Dharma kings or anybody from Shambhala here on earth currently?
So there should be plenty, because Shambhala's emphasis, Shambhala's mission is to liberate our earth. Therefore, there should be plenty. However, we can't judge who this is, because our karmic perception, we cannot see who. Not everybody see as for picture. So we only see what karmic version you have. So anybody anybody genuinely Tantra definitely has something to do with Shambhala. So let's say you can think is a suitable way of your think. If your let's say His Holiness, if your mind is right, correct, you can think Shambhala emanation, Karki emanation. Or if that is too high for you, then you can think, okay, and then Shambhala's messenger. If that is even too high for you, you can't think this. Or I'm not talking about His Holiness only, but anybody, whatever in your mind comprehend, but at least some representative, if are genuinely transmitting, and the education and transmission about Kalachakra. Also, same like when like Guru Pama Sambhava and many other lamas, Nyangma, Kagyu, whatever, they not appears as like a Kalachakra holder, but still, if they doing something similar of this, and that means also possible, we only don't see the full picture.
Rinpoche, could it be that the cause of such a huge positive change of that size to create a golden age will take a cause of enormous motivation? Like, do we have to have such huge motivation to create that amount of change?
Yeah, but you can think that way, but also you can think with this the only way, if you like to fast enlightenment, fast change in the society, the whole world, this is the only way. There is no other option. This is only way means the best only way. The best only way. The only way means the best only way. You know, it's so obvious. Even the small things in the 10 people, you together, if you have to live somewhere, rely on each other. The who is thoughtful and kind, compassionate one, everybody loves and are comfortable and happy, produce happiness. But if there is a very strange, self-centered person in there, this creates this 10 people environment makes it difficult a little bit. Same thing. Just have to think as small things, the same role for the big. So the big, where is differences, the few families cannot change the world, few communities cannot change the world directly, I mean, forcefully, but everybody understanding each other, then is overnight, very easy.
Thank you, Rinpoche. That actually concludes the questions from everyone. So for those who would like it, I'll put the links of the 2 books that Rinpoche held up earlier and the link for the Kalachakra empowerment on the videos for anyone who would like it. Shall we end with the Shambhala prayer, Rinpoche?
Yes, when I look at the some nature of our world is already so beautiful. It's like it's easy to change, transform like Shambhala. So we incredible painting. We pay incredible amount of money and we painted the Shambhala, but the nature things already natural ones and you it's hard to see which one is even looking better. So yeah, just maybe in a minute, just few minutes, people can view that photos and think about, our positive mind can change anytime so easily. Even just have right mount of the lights and then right mount of the camera lens can transform this incredible. Or the whole illusion anyway, so that's why it's easy to change. Huh? So think of that. And then we can finish by the Shambhala prayers if you like.
Okay, thank you, Rinpoche. Tanya is
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. All the translators and everybody.
Yes, we should put the link. Tanya is going to lead us in the prayer, and I've already added the link to Facebook and it will be added to Zoom.
Air Maho, primordial space of great emptiness, imbued with all supreme aspects, great play of Sambhogagaya, spontaneous primordial wisdom, antidote that liberates all migrating beings through myriads of methods, realizing magical displays of great compassion for all who need taming. Perfect radiance of wisdom, dispelling the darkness of ignorance. By abandoning the two obscurations, all migrant beings are liberated. Unceasing display of great love and compassion, reside in my heart, great Guru of all victorious ones. Buddha, Dharma, and victorious noble Sangha, heroes and heroines, oathbound Dharma protectors, I take refuge in you. Please protect all beings, protect us always in this life, the next life, and in the bardo. Particularly dispel all worldly degeneration and give rise to the matchless oath of bodhicitta. All Dharma kings and kalkis of Shambhala swiftly manifest glorious peace and harmony in this world. Swiftly eliminate the expanse of suffering led by laziness, carelessness, the views and meditations planted by illness of falling to extremes, and wrongdoings manifested by the dharmas of false motivations. Kalki sages imbued with the myriad treasures, countless times before, you did not let your vows and aspirations of immeasurable compassion diminish. Mighty compassionate legions of Shambhala, at this time of the second golden age, please bestow thousands of blessings. Through the Vajra of the authentic love and kindness, lead all beings on the path of perfect peace and harmony. Please manifest the great fortune of Shambhala, the profound teachings of the glorious Kalachakra. Perfectly completing 21,000 moments of the Mahamudra of empty form and immutable bliss, the 13th absorption, the ground of the great Vajra. Bless me to attain this in this very life. If I am unable to do so through the mudras of recollection, may I master the realization of the Dharmakaya at death. If I am unable to do that by retaining the supreme wisdom of the four joys, may I be liberated into the manifestation of the Sambhogagaya. If I do not accomplish this by controlling the life force in the field of Sambhogagaya, may I become a great bodhisattva of the 10th ground. If I am unable to do that in the pure lands of Nirmanakaya, may I be able to grasp an authentic Arya path of the lower grounds. In brief, from now on in this life, the moment of death, the Dharma Data, the Bardo, and all apparent realms of existence, whether through the Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya, or one of the Bodhisattva grounds, may I have the good fortune to be liberated in such times. If I do not gain profound realization in this life, and if I do not have the capacity to gain self-liberation into the states of the three kayas, then through the continuous meditation on the path of Vajra Yoga, may I gain rebirth into the pure realm of Shambhala. In this existence, may my attachment be minimal, and may I give rise to bodhicitta. May the aspiration to be born in the Pure Land not be reversed. Through meditating on the preliminaries, may I gain excellent results, and may I have the capacity to connect with the profound Dharma of the generation and completion stages. Like that, may all those with such good fortune in this life, at the moment of death or in the bardo as appropriate, meet the pleasant faces of the Kalki male and female bodhisattvas, and receive assurances from their undefiled speech. Later, in the long, narrow path of the bardo, until there is no more continuation amidst the assembly of the Vidya heroes and heroines, amidst exquisite Vajra sons and gentle, loving hearts, may this deep love, like that between mother and child, delight and flourish. Sons of noble family, I am pleased you have come. Daughters of the Bodhisattvas, I am delighted to see you. May we now go to the assembly of the Vidyadhara, Dakinis, to the northern realm of Shambhala. When this is spoken, may a network of white silk banners appear from the north. May all thoughts and appearances cease. May those with lesser fortune instantly gain great fortune. And when the path opens, may we be able to arrive in Shambhala. This pure land, the pinnacle of beauty and perfect power. All mind streams of great love and compassion, co-emerging with magnificent exalted wisdom. May this pure land of peace and harmony come to be. In this pure land, the rivers and oceans, cliffs and mountains, forests and plants, and especially the beautiful to behold garland of snow mountains, all extended beyond the limits of one's mind. With one glance, all coarse afflictions cease. Due to training in contemplation of one's own innate nature and so forth, the appearances of the 3 poisonous afflictions and the 5 poisons are pacified. Through the manifestation union of great love, compassion, and wisdom, may the capacity to lead all ordinary beings manifest. The 10 million cities of the realm are the 6 occasions, transcending the delightful beauty of the God realms. Merely seeing it brings forth immeasurable joy and inspiration. Great clouds of bliss gather from all that is heard, felt, and experienced. In each month and year, all the valleys, rivers, and oceans are gradually renewed, and the various shapes and forms continuously gather smells, tastes, and sensations. May the capacity to manifest in this pure realm arise, and all excellent delights flourish. Food, clothes, surroundings, and leisures, all the enjoyments one could possibly desire, manifest like gathering clouds in this natural world. May the supreme peace and harmony arise in all bodies and minds through the natural state. Enjoying life without effort or exertion, without the need to compete for business or reaping one's livelihood. There are no fights or quarrels. Opening the path of harmonious conditions for all, may the capacity arise to manifest in the pure land free of obstacles. Without attachment or jealousy to friends or foes, without even the sufferings of birth, old age, sickness, and death, without the sufferings of childbirth between mother and child. As soon as one is born, one has perfect clear perception and bodhicitta. Without the monopolizing bias of family or clan, even though all are born with Buddha nature as children of the Vajra family, there is no attachment in mothers or fathers. All beings are protected as though they were their own child. Even more so, all these Vajra siblings of yogis and yoginis are without the afflicted love that severs through divisiveness and bias. In the assemblies of the Vidya, heroes and heroines, one abides with eternal great bliss. From the inner essence of the male and female Vajra Vidyas, without the common ordinary beings, even the external world is produced from the great assemblies of merits of the 10th level bodhisattvas. Therefore, all sights and sounds are mere emptiness and bliss. Without the conditions for giving rise to suffering and afflictions, everything appears as a play of empty form and primordial wisdom. In the expanse of Buddha nature, everything is endowed with the supreme aspects. May everything manifest as an immeasurable and limitless great bliss. In this pure realm, through the profound path of meditating on the 6 Vajra Yogas for one day, the supreme journey is opened. More swift than meditating for 100 eons in other realms, may I be born in this pure realm of the Vidyadharas and Dakinis. The day and night yogas of individual withdrawal and concentration are the Vajra body. The yogas of the winds of life force control and retention are Vajra speech. The Mahamudra of empty form in recollecting is the Vajra mind, and the immutable great bliss of absorption is the constitute of primordial wisdom. May I traverse the 12 great grounds of the Bodhisattvas. After attaining the 13 grounds of Vajra absorption, for countless eons, may I have the capacity to bring benefit to limitless sentient beings through immeasurable emanations. May I alone, through the power of wisdom and compassion, dispel all degeneration in this world. And in the glorious second age of peace and harmony, may I become the great chariot leading all with me. Achieving all the benefits of meditating on and aspiring to Buddha nature, ultimate bodhicitta, along with conventional bodhicitta and the 4 immeasurables. May I be protected by all unbiased victors and their children.